Shalom.
Shalom.
All glory and praises to
Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Ba'ashem, Kakadash.
Everybody listen to our apostles and elders, great millstone. Salutations to our UCC Akim, Christians word out across the full course of the world. Hey, just going to the downfall of this sinful kingdom, America, which is codified in the scriptures as Babylon the Great. You know? So,
you know, I don't know if y'all seen what's going on in the news. I like all the countries in Africa are joining with Russia now. Russia and China. And you know, basically, the Africans, they are tired of the fucking French. And you know, prove to America, you know, everything come together, man. Everything come together. Guess what? This place is done.
So we're just go into like the international monetary system. This paradigm is shifting into a digital currency system. This is the plans of the elites on the left-hand side for many ages. This is the moment they're waiting for it, you know? And once it's happening, that's when Revelation 13 chapter is going to come into fruition. He calls it all. And once you go to the Greek word for all, it goes into pas, which goes into every individual or every inhabitant of the planet Earth. And this is their whole goal for their so-called NWO.
This is naturalnews.com, and the title is the International Monetary System Will Collapse War of James Rickards. It's not a matter of if but when, published 7/31/2023. And it says financial expert James Rickards is sounding the alarm about the impending collapse of the international monetary system. A lawyer and investment banker with 50 years of experience in monetary economics, Rickards says we are at war. This being a title of a new piece he wrote about the falling house of cards known as global finance.
Yeah, the house of cards goes into like a metaphor of a system or organization or a company on the way to the downfall. So in this sense with America, it's nothing but another empire that's headed to its downfall that was set up by Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua.
Like this Isaiah 24 and 10. The city of confusion is broken down. Every house is shut up.
Yeah, so the city of confusion or the city of chaos, the city of disorder, that's referencing to America. It's about to be broken down on all levels and aspects. Spiritually, morally, and right here with the brother getting into the article, economically. You know, this system's on engineered more so economic collapse. Because people see the word collapse or financial collapse, but it's more so an engineered collapse. This is the plans of the elites on the left-hand side to do this, you know?
That no man may come in.
This is the book of Zechariah, chapter 8, verse 10. For before these days, there was no hire for man, nor any hire for beast, neither was there any peace to him that went out or came in because of affliction, for I set all men, every one against his neighbor. Yeah, because just like the other brothers getting into, the elites are getting ready to crash this economy, it's going to be a bloody transition to this new system, man. Because things are going to be shut down, okay? A lot of businesses are going to close for good, all right? A lot of people are going to lose millions, okay? People are not going to have access to food. So we in the time that when these devils hit the switch, all right, and really go into the transition to this new system, it's going to get extremely bloody. The sea hill is connected to the famine, the violence, okay? The civil unrest. All that's connected to the sea hill, man. But they got to bring the chaos in order to bring the solution, which is the sea hill.
This is the book of Joel, chapter 3, starting verse 9. Proclaim ye this among the Gentiles, prepare war. Wake up the mighty men, and let all the men of war draw near, let them come up. But that's going more or less during the Battle of Jehoshaphat, man. When the Lord bring all these different nations to go to war over there in the Middle East. But you know, but at the same time, there's still a strategic tactic that's going to even lead up to that, man. With the economy collapsing, you know what I'm saying? The digital system being brought forth, all right?
That spiritual brother brought that out because the same article, it goes into our World War III, will usher in the NWO. So it's all strategic at the end of the day. And more so, it's authorized by Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, is placing that spirit upon his left-hand elites, his vessel with this honor. Esau eating.
Verse 10, beat your plowshares into swords, and your pruning hooks into spears, let the weak say, I am strong.
All these weak nations that wasn't pretty much reputable back in the day, now they have the same type of weaponry as America.
Yeah.
So now they just can't go around and just depot America, or America cannot go around and depot these other countries like how they used to years ago. But now they're on the same playing field because they got the same type of nuclear technology.
Because you think about it, these nations never had the balls to come up against America, man. Even when Hiroshima and Nagasaki was bombed. They never tried to bring arms up to come against Babylon, man. Okay, look how long and how much time has gone by for these nations to start coming together to get their own monetary system and to start talking shit about America, you know, and coming together to go against the horde, man. Okay, so the weak are staying there strong by these moves they're making, man. By these different, what you call when you come together, aliases, you know, alliances. There you go, bro. Getting new alliance and everything. Trying to separate from America, you know, that's big, man. But at the end of the day, it's bigger because it's prophecy, man.
Ecclesiastes 12:3. It said, in the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble, and the strong men shall bow themselves.
Those keepers of the house going into like these economists, these stock market watchers, you know, these different financial experts that work on Wall Street. Strong men refer to the nobility of Esau Edom. The ones who Habakkuk has control to sit this so-called collapse.
And the grinders cease because there are few.
And the grinders represents these everyday American working people, the workforce of America. We have like an article I came across yesterday was going into, you got like many women of color as far as teachers, they're just quitting their jobs. And now you heard about Yellow Corp, which is one of the major trucking companies in America. They just shut down their operations. And now they are filing for bankruptcy. So that's leaving a lot of employees just pretty much hopeless out here, you know?
And those that look out the windows be darkened.
Yeah, so all your different goals, your aspirations, your dreams that you had to build up into this system, you cannot look forward to this American dream because everything's on the down.
I say you 401k, that's it. All that. Compensation.
Yeah.
Just like the guy that worked for Yellow, man, Yellow Transport. That his pension, man. He talking about 30 years, man. You know what I'm saying? 30 years in the making. He's been building up, stocking up, you know, getting ready for his retirement so he can enjoy the fruits of his labor, man. But dealing with Esau and how wicked they are, you know, that's like fruit in the basket that's sitting there, man. And you leave fruit in the basket too long, what? It begins to rot, man. Deteriorate, it ain't gonna be no good. And that's how a lot of these people, like brothers say, 401k, pension, you know, all those things, man, it's gonna come to naught, man.
That's the consequences of when people putting their trust into Egypt.
That's right.
You know, you have hope into this system, but it's failing hope. And that's why George Carlin stated, the American dream, you gotta be asleep in order to believe it, you know? So 2/3 of our people are spiritually asleep by believing in the concept of the American dream.
It says, and the doors shall be shut in the streets when the sound of the grinding is slow.
Yeah, the sound of the grinding is low. No jobs, no employment, you know?
And he shall rise up at the voice of the bird, and all the daughters of music should be brought up.
That's setting your alarm system up early in the morning so you can seek employment. Right? Back in the article, it states the existing world order, which is based on fiat currencies like the US dollar and the European euro, is on its last legs. Very soon, Rickers warns all this bagged by nothing paper money will go bye-bye, and replacing it with be an entirely new paradigm, but not without a total collapse in between. You see, in order to make way for the new world order, the old world order has to be demolished.
Right, because this old world order represents this paper currency and this old way of handling money. So what they're trying to do is, what they're going to do, they're going to get rid of the paper currency. It's going to be transitioned into a digital currency system now. You know, that's that old way of money. That old way, the method of things, how they was doing, that old paradigm. I want to say the same system, they've been doing it. It's been like 50 years. So now they're ready to flush their way and start this new paradigm, going to this international monetary system. Yep.
Much like what happened with the Twin Towers. The rubble that remains after the collapse will birth a new system like a phoenix rising out of the ashes.
That's that Freemasonry talk.
In this article, Rickards explains how monetary systems change every 30 to 40 years, with the previous iteration being based on a classical gold standard. For the past half century, money has been backed by nothing. And what comes next, well, the world will have to wait and see. Today, the existing monetary system is over 50 years old, so the world is long overdue for a new monetary system, Rickards says. The unprecedented sanctions that the U.S. and its allies imposed on Russia following its invasion of Ukraine have only accelerated the move forward. It's like it, the move toward a new monetary system.
It shows you right here, this was all systematically designed by the higher ups. Because as it says, all wars are bankers' wars. So this is all planned and strategically playing out. And Mayor Rothschild, his wife stated, if my sons do not want any war, you know what I'm saying?
It wouldn't be there.
It wouldn't be any.
It wouldn't be anymore.
You know? So that shows you right here who's behind all this madness going on around the world.
Yeah. What they say that according to another quote about the Rothschilds, money is their God,
Money is their God.
and the Rothschild is responsible. Right? They control the money system.
Job 5 and 12 said he disappointed the devices of the crafty,
And that's Yahweh Shem Shah.
so that their hands cannot perform their enterprise.
Meaning their might, their control. The enterprise is going into success in the Hebrew. Who's the crafty? The nobility of Edom. Because why? They hide in the shadows. They make it seem like they don't exist, but they really exist. And through the spirit of Yahweh Shem Shah, hey, that veil has been removed off of them, so we can actually pinpoint who the international bankers truly are. Go ahead.
Verse 13, he taken the wise in their own craftiness.
Right. So the Most High is going to use the same game plan to destroy them. Go ahead, bro.
And the counsel of the froward is carried headlong.
Right. The counsel of the forward. Who is that? The wicked. Go ahead.
So they meet with darkness in the daytime.
And it's going with their policies, which is pushed through Satanism, man. Yep. That's what they push. They push Satanism through the form of Christianity, through the form of democracy, through the form of the American dream, through the form of so-called liberation.
Go ahead and just back you up. On Enema Online, when you go into enterprise, where it goes into like a business, a venture, but it also goes into an undertaking. So when you look up on the American dollar, they have Anuit Coelthus, which is a Latin phrase that goes into God, referring to the spiritual demon Satan, that's what they believe in, has favored our undertaking.
Right.
And when you go to enterprise again from Enema Online, it goes into the taking hand. So what device in today's time that matches up with that right now? The Quran. That shows you what they want to do. They want to cause all by getting this electronic device and plug it into every single body on this planet Earth.
Right. Because we have, if you think about it, the spirit, we have two pending New World Orders. We have the New World of so-called Esau, right? And then we have Yahweh Shah's New World Order. But only Yahweh Shah's New World Order will prevail, man.
Back to Job 5 and 14, they meet with darkness in the daytime and grope in noonday as in the night.
I got a quick write up. This is in Google. Why did Rome money lose its value? By decreasing the purity of the coinage, they were able to make more silver coins with the same face value. With more coins in circulation, the government could spend more, and so the content of silver dropped over the years. By the time of Marcus Aurelius, the denarius was only about 75. Denarius only about 75%. And you can say the Federal Reserve note started losing its value when in 1930, when they took it being backed up by gold and silver. It started deplenishing in, man, because by then they turned into a legal tender, a false line of credit. Okay? And then IOU.
That's why it's called fiat.
Good.
Fiat means what? Let it be. Let it be what? Considered as real money.
Right.
Which is not. You're literally playing around with monopoly money, man.
That's right. And who was it? Truman? can't remember who fucked it all up, where they couldn't get their gold and silver back out the bank. Nixon fucked it up, signed some kind of agreement where people couldn't get their gold back, you know what I'm saying, or silver. That's why, you know, the Federal Reserves have all these sales with the gold in there, man, because they done ripped off the nations. Everybody, anybody, whatever nation you're from, you had actual money in that bank to receive those IOUs. You know, if you didn't get it back at a certain amount of time for Nixon signed that paper, you was done for. So that money really become nothing. Then when you got inflation, you know, and they said how Rome had more money in circulation, the government could spend more. Hey, America, they print their money. And they sending billions of dollars over there to Ukraine, billions over there to Israel, and who knows where else, you know what I'm saying, spending money. But they constantly print it out, so the money value is getting lower and lower because there's so much in circulation. So eventually, that's why these nations are trying to get away from the dollar. A lot of these nations, they'll start sending money back to America, man. You know, you see it over there in Negro, man, they found a damn filing cabinet full of American fiat, man. Millions, man, in a poor country that nobody's spending. Because that money really just becoming worthless, man, and everybody trying to separate from America, man. Yeah. But nothing but a note piece of paper.
The paper's printed on it. There's one paper that is spent on. But you know, the elite got everybody in a trick bag. Just kind of. I was thinking about that earlier today. How they got everybody in a trick bag. You know, thinking that the money that they have, like these celebrities and all these wealthy people, and having people that's trying to get money or more money. I know we need money to function, but to be up on the level of the Jay-Z's and the Beyonce's, you know, that's got these people in the trick bag. Not only the Jakes, but the Esau as well. Because what's happening? You know, think about it. Venezuela. What happened to Venezuela? They money lost value. So it was out of you see it all laying out in the street. You know, like the Most High said, you would cast your money out in the street. And that's what's going to happen to America eventually. They're going to start dumping their money out because it's going to be working.
Another country No, well, yeah, a couple years back. When they just, you know, using their money to keep going and shit, man. But the whole point is, you know, coming back to the beginning of the video, man, how we going into this is part of the scheme for America, the elites to collapse, man, this economy, man. Because that monetary system is going to collapse, and it's going to be that snare that people are going to be looking for a way out of the hole that Esau's about to put them in, man. And like the elder brother said earlier, man, basically, you know, wanted them to go to Egypt for help. You know what I'm saying? Trusting chariots, man. Everybody pretty much trusting Esau in his system, man. And they gonna believe anything he say. So when this economy collapses, you know, and Esau tell you that they'll give you a few dollars, you're gonna line up to get that Caraba, man. They already got that orb, man, where they paying people to go get their eye scanned. You know what I'm saying? So they giving them like so much a week. So the play is in motion, man.
They already got it set up with the universal basic income. So you have your money, we gonna have more extra money coming in with that. So you already know these people are already struggling right now, so they'll be easily given to those devices.
Yep.
And so back into the article, y'all got some resources. It says World War III will usher in the NWO. The principal weapon in this latest war is none other than the US dollar itself. While the US tries to keep itself propped up as a global overlord, the rest of the world is realizing that it will forever be under the thumb of the US as long as it is dependent on dollars. With this realization comes increased demand for a new dependency that has nothing to do with the dollar. We are seeing the BRICS nation push for a gold-backed currency, while the West is pushing centralized CBDCs controlled by the private central banking cartel. Then there are the many independent cryptocurrencies, such as Bitcoin, that are vying for position as tradable currencies outside the grip of the globalists who control the private central banks. What will win out in the end? The current sanctions in the U.S. is imposing on Russia are easily extended to other nations. This means that the only way for other countries to escape possibly landing in the crosshairs of U.S. sanctions is to ditch the dollar, which is what BRICS nations are currently trying to do. And it says currency wars are one of the most important dynamics in the global financial system today. Rickard warns. Just going back to the quote I said earlier, all wars are bankers' wars. It's going to the currency wars. Everything starts by these different currency wars, how you want to take over another nation. Because you got to look about it, and just go back to the trail, who wins behind it, behind the blood and the sweat that goes into these wars and stuff like that? The bankers.
The international bank, And there's so many Edomites that have became so-called millionaires doing wars. Because what they do is they contract with other elite Edomite families. So let's say if this Edomite family owns a pool company, this Edomite family does construction, this Edomite family supplies the hammers and things of that nature, they will contract them to rebuild their country they devastated through war, and they make more money. That's how it works. They use war in order to build their wealth.
It says over the past 100 years, there have been 3 currency wars. The first during World War I, the second during World War II, and now the third doing what is rapidly shaping up to be World War III.
And see, Esau knows this. So Esau is, I want to say Albert Pike also spoke of having a WW3 on the left-hand side. So basically, remember, Esau is he's a dragon. So he patiently waits. So he has a keen sense of wickedness, but just like the Mosai sits back and wait on prophecy, Esau sits back and wait on his move, because at the end of the day, he wants total control over the people.
Why he imitates the Mosai, as it says, he should be like the Mosai.
That's it.
Because he's trying to find different ways to be like the Heavenly Father, which he cannot be.
Remember, the job is to set you up with a knockout punch. So that's what Esau does. He may put some out here right now, but it's for a move in years to come.
And it's crazy how World War II was about so-called abolishing slavery, but it really was just transferring, slavery from being privately owned to an industrial thing, right? Yeah. And just like World War III, Esau is planning on doing another war for slavery to have everybody under his captivity by way of that Quran.
So it's safe to say we went from being agricultural slaves to industrial slaves, ultimately to digital slaves. Digital slaves, digital cows. That's right.
And one thing about digital slaves, you can't hide nothing from Esau. Everything is basically shown.
Yep.
So this is Revelation 11:14, and it says the second woe is past, and behold, the third woe coming quickly.
Let's talk about WW3, and we're in the midst of that. Right? We're in the midst of WW3.
So, Psalms 55:21. The words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart.
War was in his heart. And just trace it back, I'm going to say since the American Revolutionary War, like 1775, Esau been funding all these different wars, starting with the bankers, man. Yeah, 1776. They've been funding these different wars going around, man. So what's going to be different than World War III? You just got to look and see what's behind that trail. You're always going to lead back into the tabernacle of Esau Edom. You get with the higher ups of it.
His words were softer than oil, yet were they bronze horns.
But a lot of one thing about World War III, Mosiah is doing, because he told Esau that his sons and nephews are going to be killed in that war. So they thinking that they're going to get the ups on us, but it's going to really turn on them.
It says he disappointed the devices of the death rock, but they really want to ultimately, see everybody on this planet Earth, but according to the plans of Yahweh Bashan Shah, it's not going to happen, because even though you have the elect are not going to fall for that okadoke, you also have even people within Esau's own nation, like these different people like to go to church and stuff like that, these Bible thumpers and things of that sort, these people are not going to fall for that advice, man.
This is Isaiah chapter 47, verse 7. And thou saidest, I shall be a lady forever, so that thou didst not lay these things to thy heart, neither didst remember the latter end of it. And I brought that out because, Esau really thinks he's going to achieve what the other brought out, that digital slavery, man. Have everybody under that, in that digital plantation. But he done forgot about the scriptures, man. He's not remembering that Yahushua is going to get that green light from the Most High to come back. While the war is going on in the valley of Jehoshaphat, okay, with the heavenly host of angels, man. And the Lord is going to come back and take back his kingdom, man. What he say he's going to come? He's going to have what? 7 many crowns? Yeah, gonna have many crowns on his head, man. Meaning he's gonna come back and like I said, take his kingdom back, man. All these nation leaders, all these nations, hey, the Lord is gonna shut them all down, man. Okay, it's gonna be one top ruler when it comes to be the King of Kings and Lord of Lords, man. And when Yahushua come back, and that's gonna be himself, man.
Revelation 19, starting verse 11. And I saw heaven open, and behold, a white horse. He that sat upon him was called Faithful and True. And the white horse represents how Shah comes back in that chariot. In righteousness he do judge and make war. His eyes were as a flame of fire, and on his head were many crowns.
Many crowns, man. As it said, hey, the Lord is coming back, man, to throw down all these nations who think they're in line for the next rulership, who want to be the next rulers. You know, because this kingdom of wickedness, it's going to be utterly casted down, man. And it's going to be a righteous kingdom set up, you know, starting with Yahushua, King David, the 12, and the rest of the governing body, man. And that's going to be from that point on, man, for eternity. Everlasting kingdom. Everlasting. Everlasting. Meaning it's going to last forever. There's not going to be no stopping. Okay? And that's why the nation of Israel are going to be immortal, man. Okay? You can't have an everlasting kingdom if you're able to die. Okay? So that shows you that the kingdom of heaven is going to be for the nation of Israel. Because you other nations, you're still going to be coming and going, man. You're going to be going to the spirit world, you're going to be coming back. Going to the spirit world, coming back. But the nation of Israel, hey, we're going to be forever, man. Looking very youthful.
This is why we're going to be immortal, because we're going to be cemented with the laws, statutes, and commandments. So that right there is going to not, make us go off of sin or anything like that. We'll be forever perfect, man. Yep. And that's what these nations are scared of, Yep. But we coming back to that righteous vibration starting right now through the spirit. Right.
So we can't take these bodies, these meat suits into the chariot. The Lord said the next is scared to be saved, man. And we're going to get those new bodies, man. Okay? That's that transition right then, man, of the kingdom of heaven.
All right, this is 1 Corinthians 15 and 24. Then cometh the end, when he shall have delivered up the kingdom to Yahweh, even the Father, when he shall have put all rulers and all authority and power.
So when Yahushua returns, he's going to put down all rule, all authority, all power. And let you know right now, beginning with the tabernacle when Esau Edom, he's going to set them in their place. They're going to be subject unto Yahushua, beginning with his governing body,
For he must reign till he have put all enemies under his feet.
Right. I got one right there.
And I just want to say something. I mean, that's the time we're coming into, man. Because I'm like, spirit right now, don't overlook that scripture, that particular part of the scripture, man. Yahushua about to put all nations under his feet. He's about to King David the earth. That's right. And that's what the Most High used King David to do. Put all the nations under subjection. You watch those different lion documentaries, like the coalition and all that, right? Those lions are on a crusade to subdue all those around them. Like Mufasa told Simba, all that look around, all that you survey belongs to us. But how did that become manifest? Through warfare, man. So that's why I found out that it's a space military right now. Because they're getting ready to go against the Lamb. They're getting ready to go against the Lamb, because what is the Lamb about to do? He's about to come as a roaring lion, all right, and put all the nations under subjection under him, all right?
They see that with their Salak. They see that with their Salak.
Right.
They see him out there, and see the chariots, and see all of that happening. Now they're beginning to come out with UFOs, which we already know UFOs is what they are. They're the chariots of the Most High. But to the 2/3 and the unknown, they thinking there's some kind of space alien. But we know that that's how the Most High angels travel. So now they're, like he said, they're trying to build up that force to fight against the Yahushua when he returns.
And in almost every movie you see where someone invades someone else, there's always a hero narrative for for example, like Django, right? He basically took over that the plantation, but he rescued their woman. So yeah, the angels are going to have a double-fold mission. They're going to help Yahweh subdue the nations, but they're also going to deliver the elect, man. All right, they're going to rescue their woman. Come on, man.
You had mentioned, what you say, they got like a space program now? Space military. And it's a series on Netflix called Space Force. You know, and that's what they doing. They trying to get a military into like outer space, man. But it's like he's showing you what he's gonna do. You know what I'm saying? So he put it in his movies and everything, but then he'll go and bring it forth. Man. And like the other say, he's doing these things because he know Yahweh Shai is coming back with the heavenly host of angels, man.
Also, too, he's doing two things. He's fooling the 1/3 in the unknown of his nation, but the elect is not fooled by it. You know, he's keeping them dumbed down like this aliens is, you know, well, we're going to fight against aliens, we're going to do this, we're going to do that. But at the whole time, thinking about when y'all were talking about the MOTB and how they planning to subdue the whole world, I got to thinking about the zombies. You know, what did the zombies do? You know, they run around asking, not asking, but searching out people that's supposedly healed or in the knowing their brain. They want to see their brain. So what it's our whole analogy behind it is y'all dumb. You know, y'all don't have the brain. So and it's kind of going back to Elder Kazak dream that he had. You know, where he said that they wasn't like the zombies that was going out, you know, attacking people for, you know, food, but they were eating themselves, you know, on the flesh, attacking each other. I don't know if y'all saw it either. But, yeah, it's and I got to thinking more and more about it. You know, the movies, you know how Esau portrayed zombies in the movie. Like, you know, they just dumb, they just running around looking for people that they can eat right.
You know, in a sense, that's going to be almost but that's going to be kind of the mindset of people when they bugging out. Because they done lost everything. They don't going to have access to resources, food, and everything. So people just going to be going around, you know, just raising animals almost, man. To be able to, you know, get something they desire, want, and need, man.
You actually jumped ahead because I was going to bring out the scripture where it said they would go to and fro looking for the knowledge, seeking out those for knowledge, you know. So that's what that's going to lead up to. That's those zombies coming around looking for, you know, the men of the Most High. Hey, what's going on? What's happening? You know, going back into what we were talking about last week, you know, how they will be going to and fro, looking for, you know, the Most High people to try to seek that knowledge, to try to be saved. You know, and that's where the Isaiah 4:1 come into play, where the women gonna say, hey, something about him that, you know, he can walk around, he's not being attacked, he's not worried, he's not weird, you know. So I want to be a part of that, you know.
You want to bring up the scriptures about he would put on the scriptures as a Jew.
Yeah, I was pretty good. Just kind of rambling on, but yeah, I mean, you know, that's gonna be the case.
Because we're in if you're a king, every king knew, according to his magi, that it was an expiration date on his kingdom. Every king knew. When I say king, every kingdom. They all their pharaohs, all their Xerxes, all their whatever. Yeah, they all had a left-hand priesthood. They studied the times. Right. In the ancient world, before the Great Garion, the times were with the stars. So it tells you in Genesis that these would be signs, basically signs of the time. So they all knew that this is a sign of the dust of your empire. This is the sign of another king taking over your empire. They even showed that in the movie 10,000 BC. All right? According to these positioning of the stars, it's a sign of this is it. And according to these men on the highways and the byways, all right, the fat lady is singing. Right. So, and they're aligning these men on the highways and the byways to the space activity. So according to this, so what's really happening is the translation of kingdoms. Yeah. And pursuant to Revelation 12, and Habakkuk you can hold that, it says he knows that he have but a little time. Right. So if you know he have but a short time, what is he gonna do? He's gonna fight for his kingdom. All right?
This is Zechariah 8:23. Thus said the Lord of hosts, in those days it shall come to pass that 10 men shall take hold out of all languages of the nations, even shall take hold of the skirt of him that is a Jew, saying, we will go with you, for we have heard that Yahweh is with you.
The highest value species in existence will be a man of Yahweh. Because right now, the Most High covertly deals with us. But in a dark time to come, he's going to overtly deal with us. It's going to be very apparent that a higher power is not only causing this mayhem in the earth, but also protecting these men from that mayhem. So if you have that light shining around you in the midst of chaos, yeah, people gonna. It's gonna like a Beatles concert, like a Michael Jackson. You know what I mean?
Second Ezra. Second Ezra. Then they should know who am I chosen.
Yeah, because okay, you're gonna get tried, right? But then that's gonna be the telling of who the Most High is gonna protect.
When you see a particular brother standing in the face of adversity and just taking it like a man, while everybody else, we'll say the prophecy in Isaiah the 19th chapter, like Egypt should be like unto women. So these so-called mighty men gonna be in like a whole state, man. You know?
Yeah, I just say, hey man, the Most High, Yahweh give us a small peek at that now. When brothers go to certain restaurants, certain events or whatever, how people gravitate to them. Just want to come talk to you, man.
Hey, it's people who look like they wouldn't F with us.
Exactly.
We going out, we might have been out with brothers, I don't know, he was like in Memphis, and then the waitress was like, yeah, somebody over here paid for your food. And we looking around and went up with Edomites around. So ran over all the Edomites. I'm like, there was a spirit of energy.
Yeah.
Like, why would you want to pay for some Negroes food?
And they go to the wearing your name.
Yeah.
You know, I've seen a lot of, you know, Edomites that like you said, that don't want you around. Look like they had the opportunity, they would just beat you down.
Yeah.
But you walk up to them, hey, brother, how you doing? You know, I mean, just treat me like you go.
Yeah.
You know.
Because normally when a group, let's just say 8 Jakes walk into a restaurant with all Edomites, you start hearing this is it, everybody looking at you, they feeling unsafe, scared. Yeah. But when we come in, through the spirit of Hashem outside, it's more of a look like they feel safe. Yeah, you know, they not coming in here loud, cussing, you know, pants down to your ankles, type shit. You know, it's a they sense their royalty, man. Okay? It's your house shop.
What it says, two of you are gathered together.
I'm in the midst of it.
So Yahweh Shai didn't leave us because we put the word down and get something to eat.
Right.
He's still with us.
Still with us.
And Yahweh Shai is here to peace.
And his presence is that much stronger when it's more than 2 or 3 or 4 or 5. The more there, the stronger the spirit is.
We never know what others can see. Maybe angels walk with us as well.
Always.
You know, and they can see them and we can't, because I have witnessed going into a store alone and guys standing out there like you guys standing here and y'all say, hey, how y'all doing? You know, I'm fine. You know, and I walk out of this store, y'all have a good day. You know, so I'm like, there's got to be somebody walking with me. You know, I have witnessed that.
Text.
It's Malachi 3:17. If they should be mine. Sorry, verse.
And I just want to make a quick point. That's not far-fetched. Because in the book of Tobit, all right, when the angel of Raphael was with Tobias, he gave Tobias apparitions. He gave Tobias apparitions that he, as an angel, was eating food with him. He told him at the end of the journey, I wasn't actually eating with you. I basically gave you an illusion that I was eating. So angels had a power to make themselves visible or make signs other people walking with you. It's part of that power they have, man. You know?
Malachi 3:17. If they should be mine, said the Lord Yahweh of hosts, in that day, but I will make up my jewels, and I will spare them as a man spared his own son that served him.
Spare us from what? Number who could win. Jacob's trouble. That's why we're fighting. And that's why Satan is fighting more intensely to get you out the truth. Right? That's why you get agitated more. Adversity is hitting you more. It's hitting you more quickly. You can give a curveball. that first business and let down this. Yes, they're doing everything he can to agitate you.
He's super kiddie a lot.
Because his game, because it was a game he was playing with the Most High. Let's see if we can make Joe lose his faith. That was a game. So Satan is about to lose the game with the elect. Damn, he still ain't fell out. He's still at how about my shot? They say, can't get this nigga to fall out. So now you're doing everything he can to get you to fall out.
I ain't trying to cheat.
I ain't trying to cheat. He can swing it.
Yeah.
Like, man, say you bit me in the ear, man.
Yeah.
They Mike Tyson me, man.
You ain't with the brothers that got dead and now he trying to send a married woman your way or some shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And don't always follow vibes too, man.
Yeah.
All because a woman got a vibe, you feel a connection, don't mean shit for you, man.
Yeah.
You know, because she can be married, she got a man.
Yeah.
Don't follow that shit.
Yeah.
And it's laws over vibes, man. You know, because now we're in a world where everybody's new agey, everybody into vibes, and it's laws over the vibes, man.
If you can in this truth, man, your spirit should override them fucking vibes.
Yeah.
You know? It's just an override.
That goes back to and it goes back to Isaiah 48:10. Behold, I have refined thee, but not with silver. I have chosen thee in the furnace of affliction. You know, so that's what we all are going through. I mean, each one of us have our own furnace that we have to be, you know, put in. You know, and, just like the Most High tested David in the lion's den. You know, we tested Meshach and Abednego, Shadrach and Abednego, in the furnace of the fire. But tested Job. You know, Job was the ultimate test. You know, to lose everything, lose your family. You know, that's hard. That's very hard. I mean, not facing lions in a lion den. That's rough too. But you know, somebody dropped you in the lion den. You know, yeah, that's.
Hey, but you know, we walk in the valley of the shadow of death, man.
Right.
You know, them lions, you know what I'm saying, ultimately for Esau putting Daniel in there was to what? Destroy him, to bring death upon him. So in this world, man, Esau looking to destroy us. Me and the brother going to that earlier, man, that's perpetual hatred. Like when Esau was saying once his father passed, Isaac, that he was gonna slay his brother Jacob. So that what's that lion on Lion King? Scar.
Yeah.
Scar will always around this bitch.
Right.
Looking trying to destroy us, man, because he want the blessing.
Right.
You know, so yeah, not what you're saying, bro, because you're completely right, but them scars out here.
Yeah.
I got a quick one. All right, this is Matthew chapter 28, starting at verse 18. And Yahushua came and spake unto me, saying, all power is given unto me in heaven and in earth. Go ye therefore and teach all nations, baptizing them in the name of the Father and the Son and the Holy Spirit, teaching them to observe all things wheresoever I have commanded you. And lo, I am with you always, even to the end of the world. And this is going back where we were talking earlier that, hey, Yahushua is always with us. When 2 or 3 gather my name in the midst of it. So we go out, do the work, we teach and preach. But once we put our Bibles down and brothers go together, go their separate ways, man, the Lord is still with us, man.
This is 1 Peter. First Peter 1, verse. First Peter 1. It says, 1 Peter 1:6. Wherein you greatly rejoice, though now for a season, if need be, you are in heaviness through manifold temptations.
Manifold. And I speak for myself and for other brothers. We're in a state of manifold temptations. Because Satan always throwing on monkey wrenches. Car problems, domestic problems, spirits on people that work doing weird stuff, man. Ailments, bodily problems, financial problems. But you know what should be fucking happening? You should be elevated. That's what should be happening. Because you can't control them external afflictions. But you can you can control the level you're supposed to be on. Because when you level up, the demons level up. So let's expect it. You're on a higher level now. You can handle that level of intensity. But we should be leveling up in Yahweh Shai. You know? And
Now, so we said too much is given.
too much is given, much is required, man. But after a while, you gotta laugh at some of that stuff, like some certain light in your car come on, or because sometimes you gotta laughing, man. And sometimes you gotta be that person that's singing "How About You Outside." That's a gate of affliction. Yeah, and water, you gotta see the water. How about you outside?
But you know, it's almost like, well, it is, we're a team, you know, but we have to come together as a team. We have to, it's almost like we got to gel as a team. And we're part of the body, and I'm saying that we're a team of body, you know, and one brother may be going through something that another brother can help that brother out. And that's what the Most High wants. He said, because if we all come together and call upon His name, He will come quickly. You know, so we have to come together, and like we created certain venues for us to communicate and help each other out. We got to come together and utilize that to keep each other uplifted and keep iron sharpening iron.
Yeah. Body is like synergy.
Right.
You know, you think about like your different body parts, like the liver.
Right.
The liver's functioning right, they can help out the kidney.
Right.
And so forth and so on, because different organs in the body. That's how you got to look at it through the circle. Yeah. You know, because I might be going through something I've never experienced before. The Z, I holler at him, we didn't experience before. Except we have to experience about it.
So in other words, we gotta open up our mouths. You know, you can't be lone soldiers, you know. Sometimes you gotta talk to a brother.
Right.
You might not want to be that brother that's like putting a burden on everybody or constantly, but sometimes you gotta open up your mouth and talk to other brothers, man. You know, because it's needed.
Right.
Because your woman not gonna only she's only gonna understand you to a certain degree. Right. Co-worker damn sure ain't gonna get it. Right. Your homeboy you grew up with, he cool, but then the deep spiritual afflictions he not gonna get.
They all gonna understand you on the corner level.
On the corner level.
And what did the Most High say? If you have a problem, seek out wise counsel. You know, so you should go to that wise counsel and ask, you know, for their opinion.
Right. Right.
Yeah, this quote from Epictetus. He says, the true man is revealed in difficult times. So when trouble comes, think of yourself as a wrestler whom God, like a trainer, has paired you with a tough young buck. For what purpose? To turn you into Olympic class material.
Yep, because, hey, adversity is the king's gymnasium. So we really can't develop character unless we got some level of resistance. And what I've learned is, most of the afflictions that the Most High sends you is for you to develop skill. Because you can only have the same problem so many times before it becomes a solution. You're going to eventually learn the solution. I heard someone say, a problem is not a problem if there's a solution to that problem. Right. So a lot of things the Most High gives you is really so you can develop, man. You know?
And where all that's leading to is going back to Isaiah 33:6, wisdom and knowledge to be the stability of our time, because it's building your faith to trust in the Most High more, because the brothers are uplifting you, but brother, we're gonna pray to the Most High on this situation. It may be a situation that brothers cannot physically help you, and then only they can pray to help you in that situation. So that's coming together in unity, you know, and it's preparing your mind for things to come, that you can handle those things.
Right. This would be fortified. There's a street in Jackson called fortification. So the Most High is fortifying our minds. Because the scripture said, thy faith in the day of adversity, thy strength is weak. But the Most High has to put you through adversity to build your strength up. You know?
And y'all used to always relate that scripture pretty much, not necessarily the scripture in general, but to lifting weights. You know, you start lifting weights, you get accustomed to 150 pounds.
Yep.
You can put another plank on each side. Yep. You know, you can't do as many reps, but the more you keep dealing with, we'll say, that affliction, eventually that one's gonna come a little lighter for you. And like I say, the demons gonna be a little more weight on. So it's a continual fight, but the whole thing, not let it Satan break your faith, man.
Don't let the weights hit your chest.
I'm telling you, your neck.
Yeah, right here, your neck, yeah.
You gotta quit. This 1 Thessalonians, verse 5, starting at verse 9. For the Most High, Yahweh Shemi outside, have not appointed us to wrath, but to obtain salvation by our Lord Yahweh Mashiach, who died for us, that whether we wake or sleep, we should live together within. Wherefore, comfort yourselves together and edify one another, even also as ye do.
edify means to build. It's like the big brother Yahweh is saying, we got to build each other up. You know? So we have platforms of the spirit and we're supposed to build each other up. Even basically carnal problems, things that you may not understand. There's a brother in the camp that might be an expert in it. And if he don't have an answer, he knows somebody that has the answer. But we're also, and it's beautiful because we're going to have to be a unit in a time to come. So we're going to have to, in the military, they say, it's not just like when it comes to like, for lack of better words, auditioning to get into those special forces. All right, it's not the strongest man. It's not that lone tough guy. It's the guy that's like a team player. That's the guy. You got to learn how to make himself a part of a unit. That's the guy that usually gets it, man. So in a time of struggle, we might be in a position we might have to be conditioned to depend on each other. Every brother makes himself an asset to the next man.
I mean, you gotta have counsel. You go crazy, man. Even Moses, he had Jethro. Yeah, Jethro. You know what I'm saying? Moses about to go drive himself mad, trying to lead over the nation of Israel. But Jethro, he told him you need to break it down and have certain men to help you. You know what I'm saying? Appoint certain officers. You know what I'm saying, so to speak. King David, he had man, he gave him the prayer when he got on David about sleeping with a wife. Nathan. King David had Nathan. You know what I'm saying? Men are gonna have to have particular men, because you might not talk to every particular brother, right, but there should be at least one brother within your congregation, man, that you should be able to vent to and talk to, man. Okay, so brothers can't be too proud, man, because hey, you can destroy yourself trying to hold all that information or that anger, so to speak, or just whatever you're going through, man. You have to let it out, man, because if you put too much air in a balloon and never stop letting that balloon take in the air, eventually it's gonna pop, man.
Think about a brother who has like actually going through that. He actually talked to another brother vendor about it.
Yeah.
Like, man, that's it. You know what I'm saying? That's all you have to do, the whole time.
Because Satan utilized that to make you mess up, man. Because you could be on edge, and if a brother say something to you, whether it's the top elder brother or the brother on the lower end, and say something to you that rubs you the wrong way, you liable to let something slip off your tongue that hey, the Lord ain't gonna be pleased with. You know, find yourself in a position worse than Miriam was, man. You know, so hey, you gotta let it out, man. That's what the brotherhood is for. Okay?
No, that
was it, bro.
You can mumble and shit. Playing scenarios on your mind. I know how it is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? A brother, somebody did you wrong. It's playing on your mind. That's how Satan fucks you. That's why I think Satan gets somebody to blow their brains out. That man was steeping with anger before that happened. Satan was playing over that man's brain or over that man's mind for days and weeks. So, hey, he exploded, man.
While he's sitting in the house in complete darkness, just thinking about it.
Yeah.
Just saying have open season on his stove.
Right.
So Galatians 6:2. Bear ye one another's burdens, and so fulfill the law of Yahushua.
So you know, the Most High is about the law. But Yahushua is about mercy. As a matter of fact, because I can break it down, Yahushua's number is 4 is mercy. So hey, we're not in a time of making cheap the laws. We're supposed to build the laws to the best of our abilities. But we're in the time of Yahushua. We're not in the time of Yahweh. That makes sense. We're not in the time of sacrifice a lamb, playing by the laws, by the book. We're in the time of Yahushua. And Yahushua is about building each other up, mercy, forgiving. Because most of the times you gotta forgive a brother. It's really your opportunity for the Most High to forgive you of your little bullshit. So Yahushua created a circumstance that allow you to sort of leave yourself. It's a test.
And we can see if we're going to continue to live with that pride. You know, if we're going to go to that brother and say, I'm sorry, forgive me. Because what do you say? Go to the brother and apologize to the brother first. Then come to me and ask for forgiveness. Right? So if you can't go to that brother and ask for forgiveness or get the beam out of your own self, then how can you tell somebody else what they should do?
Right.
It's all about Yahushua right now. Matthew 17:5. While he yet spake, behold, a bright cloud overshadowed them, going to the so-called UFO. And behold, a voice out of the cloud which said, This is my beloved Son, in whom I am well pleased. Hear ye him.
So that's I think another book another interpretation of that is that they heard a thunder that they could not comprehend. But the point is, hey, this all this we're talking about Yahushua. We're going off his sacrifice that he made for us. All right, we failed the Yahweh's way. We failed that Pharisee, I said the Moses way. We failed, man. That's what got us here. So our redemption is under Yahushua. So a lot of you niggas are really proud when it comes to your perfection of keeping the laws, man. You know?
Yeah. This is the book of John, chapter 13, starting in verse 7. Yahushua answered and said unto him, what I do thou knowest not now, but thou shalt know hereafter. Peter said unto him, thou shalt never wash my feet. Yahushua answered him, if I wash thee not, thou hast no part with me. Simon Peter said unto him, Lord, not my feet only, but also my hands and my head. Yahushua said unto him, he that is washed needeth not save to wash his feet, but is clean every whit, and ye are clean, but not all. For he knew who would betray him, therefore he said, ye are not clean. So after he had washed their feet and had taken his garment and was sit down again, he said unto them, know ye what I have done to you? Ye call me master and Lord, and ye saw well, for so I am. But the point is, Yahushua humbled himself, being the top dog, so to speak, to wash his disciples' feet, man. You know what I'm saying? What kings are finna get down and wash their servants' feet, man? You know, it's a humble demonstration. It's a sign. It's like a humility in a sense, okay? And it was showing that, you know, that Yahushua was humble enough to give his servants that boost of faith that, you know, I'm with you. You know, I'm not trying to like just do you bad or, you know what I'm saying, treat you this way or that way. You my brother. So this is a part of my mission, is to humble myself to show you that you should have humility in days to come, man. Does that make any sense?
It's almost like that TV show, Dirty Boss. How can a CEO of a corporation know what his workers are going through, and he don't go through that same thing? You know, so you know that's what we should do with each other.
Yeah.
You know, put down ourselves. You know, if the brother need help, you know, we should call you on help. You know, you should go help with that. You know, so we should be servants, and then we can enjoy the benefit of being kings and priests and masters in the kingdom. I say masters because we'll be ruling over this nation.
You know, and that's why we'll be kings.
Yeah.
That's the problem, we'll be kings.
And bro, I used to look at that show every now and again, and the owners of that business never really knew what his employees were going through till he, you know, came in and acted as an actual employee. You know what I'm saying? So that humbled him to know what they was going through. Certain ones, you know, he would give them extra money to the employees and everything. But see, Yahushua already knew what we was gonna be going through, man. You know what I'm saying? So he understood it.
Then Paul reiterated that because he said he once was, he said, be ye merciful. I'm just kind of rough and paraphrase. Be ye merciful because you once was at this point in life, meaning being merciful to other people that are trying to come to the truth, that may not be getting it, maybe a little slow or something like that, but you know, don't be harsh on them because at one time they were babes coming in. I can't remember the scripture, but I remember Paul reiterating that we should be in that same state of mind. We were once babes at one time, babes at one time.
I'm trying to think of like, you know, let me see if I can. I got that. Did you get that first Thessalonians? Go ahead.
This Hebrews 7:4. I'm sorry, 24. It says, but this man, because he continueth ever, hath an unchangeable priesthood, wherefore he is able also to save them to the uttermost that come unto Yahweh by him, saying he ever liveth to make intercession for them. And the reason why Yahushua can make intercession for us to the Heavenly Father Yahweh, because he's been in our place. You know what we went through. You know what it takes to go through these different chains of darkness, going into this flesh. So he could go to the Heavenly Father, be that mediator for us, like, Yahweh, like look what they're going through. You know what I'm saying? Just make it that intercession for us in the spirit. Because if it was really up to the Heavenly Father, Yahweh, you probably do away with us right there and there, man. So the Yahweh is being that lawyer for us in the heavens right now, in the spirit, you know?
Right. Because we can't get it perfect.
Right.
We can't get it by the law. That's why it says in Colossians, the laws which were written contrary to us, contrary to our nature.
Yeah.
So we, like I said, he fell. That's what Adam represented, that rough draft of perfection. He represented that six, that one short of perfection. And so did Solomon. King Solomon represented that one less of perfection, right? So, but yeah, ironically, Adam and King Solomon was Jehoshaphat. When he came back as Jehoshaphat, he represented perfection. But he came also to put us instead of perfection. But we're under mercy right now. We're under Yahweh's mercy. And like I wanted to speak about coming down and humbling himself like an employee, does Yahweh's but he's the supervisor. He's right next to the church. He came down and walked in our shoes about living in this flesh. He must say he made himself lower than the angels. You know?
1 Peter 2:21. For even hereunto were you called, because Yahweh also suffered for us, leaving us an example that you should follow his steps.
Yep. Follow his steps.
And one way you're trying to follow the steps of Yahweh, we can't be perfect, but he walked in perfection. So the best that we can do is try to walk in the ways of Yahweh, the best of our ability, man. You know, like I said, we're not gonna be perfect. We can't be perfect. We need, like Bud said, to change the darkness. But the whole concept, the whole mindset should be to walk in perfection to the best of your ability as Yahweh, man.
You don't think Yahweh going to reward brothers like that, that mindset,
Right.
shrine, in a system like this, and a setup like this in America? Where you get rewarded, you get highly elevated just by being wicked and doing wickedness.
Yeah.
But he see the service, they trying.
Yeah.
They putting in effort, man.
And you don't think he know about the temptation? What was Satan took him to the mountaintop, tried to offer him his kingdom. You know, 40 days. Yahweh was in the wilderness. At his weakest moment, Satan tried to give him a proposition, but you know, Yahweh refused. Of course, it's his kingdom anyway. But he's showing us that, you know, you don't just sell out, basically, man. You know, because there's something greater to come. You know, as go into what's that? Is it Mark the 8th chapter? What does it profit a man to gain the whole world to salute his soul? You know, it's not going to profit anything, man. Really, it's going to have some carnal profit. You know, some worldly profit. But the spiritual, that being profitable in the spirit to receive, you know what I'm saying, the glory of Yahweh to be heirs with Yahweh, man, you got to store up those spiritual treasures for that, man. Open that spiritual bank account, you know. Dedicate yourself to doing the will of Yahweh.
It always starts with the mindset. And we want you to do it. We want you to flee from the shadow of this world. Detach from the spirituality of this world, the carnality of this world. You gotta be spiritually minded, you know?
Because part of detaching from Babylon, all right, really involves separation, man. And let me rephrase that. Part of walking into Yahweh and allowing Yahweh to enter into your spirit is really detaching from Babylon. Detaching from Babylon, detaching from feminism, detaching from black culture, westernization. Behind all those things is Yahweh. All right, so that's why I said love not just a word, but in deed. Part of your deed is unplugging from westernization. Westernization is your stumbling block between you and Yahweh, right?
Right. Bro, it's this picture I be looking at, man. And it's so damn deep to me. There's some matches in a row, and they say the power of stepping away. You got some matches burning, like, you know, that trail burn, but you pull one out, and it stops from burning. It's almost like from destroying yourself, man. You know what I'm saying? And that's what we got to do to keep from destroying ourselves, man. You know what I'm saying? Step away from this world. Step out of the ways of this current system, man. You saying not follow the ways of the heathen. You know, walk in the ways of righteousness. Follow the ways of Yahweh. You know, not being a part of the dry bones, man. Okay?
So 2nd Ezra 2:34. And therefore I say unto you, O ye heathen, that hear and understand, look for your shepherd, who should give you everlasting rest. For he is not at hand that shall come in the end of the world. Be ready to the reward of the kingdom, for the everlasting light shall shine upon you forevermore. Verse 36. Flee the shadow of this world.
So wait a minute, they gave a prerequisite. So it gave the incentive, the reward of the kingdom is basically a hit. And part of the everlasting light is eternal life. Right? Right. The eternal life. Then it said, flee the shadow of this world. So one of the things that help brothers tap into their spirit is really fleeing from a earthly Western. Spiritually flee from earthly. You know?
And it says, receive the joyfulness of your glory. I testify my Savior openly.
Who's the Savior? Yahushua. You know? Even Yahushua's mentioned in the book of the Apocrypha. Look at Ezra. Because Yahushua, his script was already written. All right? He's the deliverer and Savior of Israel. But underneath Yahushua are 144,000 saints. We are the defenders of Zion. You know?
Revelation, going to that testimony, you know, it goes back to testes, you know, of course that deals with men. As it says how the flock of the congregation or the flock of my pastor or men, the congregation goes into a flock of men. So who has that true testimony in these last days? It's referring to the righteous prophets of Yahweh Bashim Shah. It says right here in Revelation 19:10, and I fell at his feet to worship him, and he said unto me, see thou do it not. I am thy fellow servant, and thy brethren that have the testimony of Yahweh Shah. Worship the Heavenly Father Yahweh, for the testimony of Yahweh Shah is the spirit of prophecy.
The spirit of the spirit is on us to tap into prophecy, man. And to be iron level in prophecy, man. Because you can contend with scoffers with 90%, but 90% of dealing with scoffers is dealing with the milk. But for our growth, for our protection, we have to understand the times that we in, man. All right? Because you say measure down the time diligently. How do you measure the time? Through assessing current events with prophecy. All right? So, but we're coming into a time where people are going to ask us questions. And we have to be able to answer those questions where we are according to the Bible, man. Because now the book is open. All right? The seals are broken and the word is living. The Most High pressed play on the prophecies, and now we have to interpret that to people. All right?
Now those prophecies are beginning to come true to the 2/3 and the rest of the nations out there, because now they're saying, hey, these guys are right in the things that they've been saying. And so the world is beginning to see that. And so that also decreases their time when you said that Messiah don't see that as time is short. You know that. Okay, things are caving in on me now. I gotta move faster.
Yep.
You know.
That's what he's doing. So that's what the I'm not even gonna mention the video we did last week. He got to remove my phone. And that's why he have all these events that happen in the earth, man. Instead of put that all in everybody, man. See, when you put that all in everybody, it's like, oh, I won. I got everybody before the prophecy, before Yahweh Shah came back. You know?
This is the book of Revelation, chapter 12, verse 12. Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he has but a short time.
And they ain't talking about no damn spiritual devil, man. They're talking about Esau either. This is epithet on the planet Earth. He's a damn devil. Even other countries, other nations such as Elon, first of the so-called white man, is the great Satan. So the devil coming down unto you know he has but a short time. Yes, he's magi. He's a sorcerer. He's a warlock. They study the signs. They know, okay, when they see these men, all right, listen, now time is winding on my kingdom. But the brother get there in Job, I believe it's the 4th chapter, knowing that I have set a bound, and he could not pass. You know?
Because we go to that Greek word the brother just read, for wrath, it goes into thumos, and it says passion, angry, heat, anger for with boiling up, and soon subsiding again. So So it just showing you how Esau's going to be inflamed with Haman because as said, because he knows that his time is up, man. You know with Esau, man, he's a sore loser at the end of the day. So he's not going to go without a fight trying to get that crown back. But ultimately, he wants that blessing, you know? That's why the scriptures go into.
I have to make a correction too, and this is alluding to, it's going back to about a month ago. I think Captain Abaya was talking about the slave Bible. It's totally irrelevant. But I was like, well, it wasn't a slave Bible, it was a slave doctrine. And to my correction, it was actually, they actually carved a slave Bible. So I just want to make that correction.
All right. This is 2nd Ezra chapter 16, starting at verse 70. For there shall be in every place and in the next cities a great insurrection upon those that fear the Lord Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua. Verse 71. They shall be like madmen, sparing none.
See, right now, Esau has been moving covert. You watch the movie, they call Tyrone. It shows you the covert war tactics they use against the 12 tribes of Israel. Whether it's the chemicals in the firm, the nigger culture, all right, food, church, music. That's covert warfare. But now he's going to say, fuck it, take the mask off and start swinging. Because his sword, his gift anyway is that sword. They got all type of Call of Duty type electronics, all right, that can decimate, dissipate a human being, man. Literally make, I'm sorry, but literally make lightning fall from the sky. That's right.
You know, through spirit, you think about it, he's slightly doing it right now. Like when in speeches, he keep mentioning about the Great Reset, like the NWO. You know what I'm saying? Like he keep mentioning these terms, so we already know what he's saying leading to.
But you know, it's gonna be bitter. It's gonna be sweet. You know, it's kind of it's sweet for people to get that shock like that. You hit us like that, the Jake, it's gonna be like good.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah. Man.
You've been trying to fit in with the devil since the end of slavery. So it's gonna be good for you to see that this nigga is Haitian. You know?
We tired of sneaks a lot, bro.
I'm saying these powerful women, you know, these modern women, man. Like, man.
Hey.
Oh, this is a prideful, delusional spirit, man, running rapid. And it seems like it's being fed through social media, man.
Yeah.
Social media got everybody thinking they're somebody, man. You know? And like the elder was saying, man, bro, it's going to be like that other side of the pillar. You know, that nice cool side of the pillar when the Most High, man, fuck these people's minds up, man. You know, snatch the rug out from under your foot. You know? Snatch the binky out your mouth.
And I think a lot of that is going to happen this winter. Because what happened in Texas a couple of years ago, how they used the cold weather and, you know, it killed a few people over there. But you see how hot it is across the U.S. And they're going to do that massively across the U.S. with cold weather, which is going to starve a lot of people because you can't cook. You know, we can't get out. And it's going to freeze a lot of people. And so I think, you know, they're picking their appointed time to bring that on. That's just something that's been on my spirit for a while.
And you know, they definitely behind this climate change, this extreme heat. Oh yeah. So I think they had a meeting, that's probably in 2017 in Davos, Switzerland. They were just going into about climate change. And now I think the UN general, one of them stated not too long ago, that's about to be a global era of boiling. It's going to be extreme heat. That's what we're facing right now.
You go from global warming to global warming. And now just reading like how long will Earth be habitable? Like by 2050, theoretically, there's gonna be parts of the Earth that's gonna be uninhabitable. Like Miami, New York, certain parts of West Africa, some of them will be over flooded. Like the Earth is literally decaying. 500 years of rulership. From the moment these people came over here killing what do you call those birds they killed back in the 50s? The dodo bird. The moment y'all niggas started killing the dodo bird, man. The moment y'all started hunting whales. The moment y'all started doing industrial revolution, man. The moment y'all start sending mass carbon fuel into the atmosphere, to the ozone layer, man. The Earth has been decaying. So they said parts of the Earth is going to be uninhabitable. That's why they show these dystopian movies where California is like a fucking desert. Right. You know, post-apocalyptic movies. California's a fucking desert. They got a picture of a tree like this for the others. Right. I was going to say something.
Yeah, I was just going to say, you know, it's just, that's why the earth and everything's going to rejoice when he's taken out of leadership.
Right. Because really, like, they got this word called sentient beings. Everything Yahweh created is a sentient being. Meaning it's a living, breathing thing. Right. So the trees, the plants, they're living. They actually witness. Right. They actually witness. Meaning that the fir trees mentioned in Isaiah 14, they know who's running the earth, and they're oppressed.
Right.
Just imagine a tree. Hey, this it's a movie called. It's just like Jungle Book, but it's not called Jungle Book. But yeah, Mowgli or something like that, right? But they refer to that fire as what? That great flower, the terrifying flower or something. But man comes to burn down the jungle. Man, but it's not man. It's the so-called white man. You're Cain. You're traveling. Two-ball Cain, traveling dagger. So, but the fir tree knows who was mass killing them, man.
It was crazy corn. Because the fir trees are just a particular tree, but even the other trees.
All the trees.
If you're depressed, you can't be a good performer. You're not gonna be productive. That's why I like the apple trees, the peach trees, your berry vines. They're not producing because they're fucking depressed. They know that they're in an oppressive state.
They destroyed a lot of it. Man, during my time of coming up, we can ride down 25 the way we come and get off and pick any kind of fruit you want.
Wild berries.
I hadn't seen a farm song and I don't know when.
If you look what we're standing on, this concrete civilization is suffocating on the earth. It's suffocating. I'm gonna say the Hebrew to the best of my ability. Alma Aratazah. Alma means mother. Aratazah means earth. It's suffocating. When somebody held their mouth over your mother.
Right.
You know? Like, nah, this is Mother Earth, man, because we get all of our nourishment from the earth, man. We don't worship the earth. We worship the creator of the earth. But like you said, all the trees are conscious. As a matter of fact, in the brother get that wisdom Solomon 21.
I got Job 14:5. This is Job 14:5. Seeing his days are determined.
Seeing his days are determined. That's your weakness. Your expiration date. And how does he know his days are determined? He got these forces like the Magi. They telling him this is going to be the sign of the downfall of the kingdom.
And it goes into Isaiah 47, how they are weary with their counsels. But they know on the right-hand side what's about to happen to them.
And you know, a brother said that either he had a dream or his wife had a dream. But they were bugging out. The elites were bugging out. And they was doing all types of sacrifices to get in here with us, demons, basically extend their empire. I'm not panicking right now. Joe Sixpack not panicking. The elites, they know what time it is. Because they made the matrix. So how can they be lost in their own matrix? They know exactly what's going on, man. All right?
The number of his months are with thee. Thou hast appointed his bound that he cannot pass.
Meaning that you can't surpass the expiration date of your rulership. You know, you look at a bottle, it says expires by this date. You know, you have an expiration date on the wine of your hoarding. Because pretty soon the world is about to get easternized. Now I don't know the depths of it. Another brother get into it. Basically that's saying we're switching into the age of Pisces. Aquarius, I think it's Pisces. We're entering into the age of Pisces. There's like a 2,000-year period that we just ended, you know, at the beginning of another period. But basically, like I said, I didn't get too deep into it, but it's like we're about to enter into a new age of thought. It only makes sense to line with the scripture. The world is about to be on an eastern vibration. You know? An eastern vibration, man. You know, as opposed to this hustle and bustle, dog, get it how you live. No, we're gonna really live in harmony with Yahweh and in harmony with the earth.
Order's about to be restored.
Order's about to be, because there's earth rules. You go to a brother's house, you got house rules. If you don't, he can kick you out the house. Everybody take the shoes off. You know, hey, we got to sit at the table. Whatever, those are house rules. If you don't keep up with the house rules, then guess what? You get kicked out the house. If not, the house won't decay. Now, what's happening is, this nigga not keeping the house rules, so the next generation of humans can't inhabit that same house. It's going to be uninhabitable. That's what you look on Google, it's going to say about 2050, certain parts of the earth is going to be uninhabitable. You ran the house down, man. So you got to have house rules to make it inhabitable for the next guest to enter that house, which means the next generation, man.
That's why the earth is in the way it is. Esau, like a child, no rules. He just jumping up and down the bed, wasting shit on the couch, ain't cleaning it up. This is the result. So that generation after generation after generation.
Because Westernization only cares about satisfaction of it now. But the ways of our forefathers, all right, they set themselves up to set their sons up. So our grandkids, if we were still here 100 years from now, they can't inhabit the same earth. They're gonna have to walk around with masks on and it's gonna be crazy. Live on the ground.
In the back of corner of what you said about everything is a living being, you know, going into the analogy of the house. If you let a house sit uninhabitable, what happens to it? It decays.
The earth starts to take over.
Right. The earth takes over in the house, you know, the wood, rocks, everything inside, the mold take over, you know, and that goes into, like with us, crank. Crank is a form of mold, a form of cancer. That's what, you know, happens to a house. It decays, it rots, and then what happens? It falls in.
And we're classified in the scriptures as the pillars of the earth. If you look at these pillars, they have pillars. So the saviors of Zion were actually going to be pillars of the earth. In brother of the scripture, another brother in Romans 8, how to earn his expectation of the future. Because the other nations are waiting on the elect to wake up, man. Because we're going to restore order to the planet earth, man. All right?
Goes going into about the collapse. The God says again, we read it earlier, Isaiah 24, the seed of confusion is broken down. You know what I'm saying? This place is decaying on all levels, man. We just waiting spiritually, we just waiting hopefully through the spirit that this place be broken down physically.
Hey, you know what my hope is? I'm not just saying this because y'all here teaching and trying to sound good, man. I speak as a man, but I'm more stoked about sovereignty and really within the kingdom. And I just say that because as long as this man is out the picture, or as long as he's out of the picture, I don't care what brother is on top. If Yahweh shall say, hey brother, you're gonna rule over this province, is Zahab, you're gonna be a resident in his province. I'm cool because Esau out the way. The problem is not, oh, I need to be a king, or the problem is Esau in the way. Because if Yahweh shall get back on top,
We all do.
if you the janitor in the palace, you good.
Right.
You gonna still go home to servants. You gonna go home to peace.
Right.
You go home to your wives, and your daughters, and your sons, and your families, and your animals.
You live forever.
And you live forever.
Hey, that's on spiritual called what Queen Sheba? When she came to King Solomon's kingdom.
She thought the servant was King Solomon.
And who is King Solomon?
Yahweh Shai.
That's right, man.
Hey, yep.
That was just like a forerunner things to come.
Man, there was a foreshadowing of the kingdom, brother. It was a foreshadow of the kingdom, brother. The Most High gave us a little blip, a sneak peek, a trailer to King Solomon's rulership, man. You think Yahweh Shai can't get drippy, man? Come on, man.
Can I give you this?
Let's
verse?
go, bro. Go back to shot.
This is the book of Psalms, chapter 84, verse 10. For a day in thy course is better than 1,000.
Yeah.
I had rather be a doorkeeper in the house of my power than to dwell in the tents of the wicked.
So one day in the kingdom of heaven is going to be better than 1,000 so-called best days in this kingdom right now.
One day. What's that movie called? One Night with the King? So one day in the kingdom of heaven is better than 1,000 years in this day. And I be watching those little films about how the elites live, especially like the princes of Dubai. This is all within the tents of the wicked. And they be lit. They be living.
Got tigers for pets.
$300 million planes.
Right.
In luxury, you fly high on luxury.
Fucking yachts damn near the size of a cruise ship.
And then on top of that, they go where they want to go and don't have to have a passport.
They got diplomatic immunity.
Yep.
Right.
That's it.
They're not subject to time.
Right.
We're slaves to time.
Right.
We live a box life. I gotta get up at this time. Go to bed at this time. We're
Gotta
subject
put back
to
this much.
Yeah, gotta put back this
Pay
money.
this bill.
Gotta pay this bill. Everybody get another job. You know?
Yeah.
You know?
Look.
And you believe in that false hope, you know, if I win the lottery,
Yeah.
you know.
You mean to tell me that people one person $300 million, but you can't fix the water in the city? You know, you can't give people like an increase in their rate. You know what I mean? They playing with the peasants.
What's wrong with this picture?
Yeah.
Then send billions to other countries. Right. But, you know, won't forgive student loans and won't forgive other things that
Veterans, homeless.
right, that people have helped to build this country up, or do for this, you know, help to build this corporation up, you know, to do for it, but, you know, they can't help them out. Then you look at elderly people that's in their 60s and 70s, retire from one job just to go work at another job just to pay medical bills, medical expenses.
What's fucking slave? And I can't wait for the downfall of this place. this is not how it's supposed to be. Right. You don't need a job. We mean, first of all, we need a house shot, not a job. And secondly, you don't need a job. You as an earthling, I hate to say it like that, but you as an earthling, you need skill to utilize the earth to sustain yourself. Right. You don't need to work at a goddamn Pepsi Cola company. No, you need to have, you know, most I created the earth, he gave me a skill to utilize the earth to live in his earth. Right. Farmers, carpenters, blacksmiths, potters, all those things come from extracting the planet earth. But this man, rulership, he ultra strips from the earth's resources. So a group of people could be convenient. It's not natural to eat that much meat. Right. It's not natural to drive 2,000-pound cars all throughout the world. That's why there's potholes everywhere, all type of shit, man.
Because they have to take more and more resources to keep these roads up.
And it lacks regenerative measures. Right. If you look at Gad, which is way more superior than you damn devil, all right? He had a regenerative system of living on the planet Earth. That's why he kept the land Shabbat. Right. Are we gonna form 6 years and travel on 7 years so that soil can regenerate minerals? Right. All right, that's a regenerative system. And he knew that whatever we take from Mother Earth, we gotta put back into it. You know, with the buffalo. All right, I think it's an Iroquois, correct me if I'm wrong, but they utilize every part of that buffalo to make sure there's no waste. The way you know you have a self-sufficient kingdom is you have no fucking waste. Right. Think about that shit. Yeah, that's a superior, somebody that's about 10, that's a superior system. Right. Americans waste 40% of their food. You have very wasteful people.
And Esau. Esau will go slaughter an animal just for his head to put on the mount, his antlers, or just to take a picture with him. Like you say, the meat, they'll get like the tenderloin out, or maybe get a little bit of the grinder. But for the most part, like for me, as growing up in the country, man, deer season, bro, it be all kind of deers on the side of the road, man, where they just like took the head off or just took the back strap out and just left them there, man. You know, just wasted, bro. You know, but that's Esau.
That can feed homeless people. That can feed homeless people.
Yeah.
You know, the homeless people, you have a poor welfare system.
No, that's all I was going to say. You know, that can feed, you know, the sport that they use to feed homeless people, you know, and you look at all the abandoned houses out here that's livable, but you look at the homeless people and they won't even, you know, hey, here's a house. You know, this society, this world, which I know is not the design of the Most High, but it could be much more better if man would have took care of it.
Hey, Esau, white man, so-called white man. And we're just citizens of his kingdom. Right. So we didn't make that decision to have this wasteful empire. Your kingdom is like a vehicle. It has all, it produces so much waste. Right. It exhausts pipe. Your kingdom has a very horrible waste system, man. The byproducts of your kingdom sucks, man. That's why single motherhood is an example of a poor family structure. Right. Because your feminism, it destroys family structure, so nobody's building families. We all bumping and grinding, but nobody's building shit, man. Right. Abortion, why are you wasting babies? You know? See, the Most High put a spell on us to pinpoint the error in your ways, man. You have a real systems can recycle. So you can get that man, woman, children, you can recycle that generation to generation. You can take down a tree and replant a tree. You got generation to generation. But nigga, you mass take. And then you leave nothing for the next generation. Keep the next generation to Keisha. Or the generation after that Keisha, she's not gonna have the luxury, all right, of really being born. Because her grandmother was a so-called pro-choice female, so she aborted her ass. See, the reason why you shouldn't have abortions, all right, because that next generation is not going to have the luxury to make that decision to have an abortion because they're not going to exist. She aborted them. You got to have systems to regenerate itself, man.
You see, and our people, that's one reason our people hate our message through the Spirit of Habakkuk outside so much because we call them out on their shit, man.
That's right.
And let them know Esau is giving you green light to do all these fucked up acts, man, that completely against our heritage, man.
Right.
And they hate that shit, man. And that's why they come so hard up against us, because accountability is like a fucking slap in the face to Jake, man. You know?
Right.
And it's those same ones, what, the book of Matthew, speak to smooth things, you know, roughly paraphrase.
What's that saying in the world? Talk to me nice.
Yeah.
Talk to me nice.
Don't be so harsh.
Right.
Well, the Lord said, cry loud, spare not, man. You know, we're going to tell you how it is, man, through the Spirit. Because ultimately, this is love. We telling you through the Spirit of Habakkuk what you can do that the Lord may find mercy on you, man. Repent. Turn away from this wickedness, man. Don't stop following the ways of the heathen, man. Okay, this is mercy being brought forth by the prophets of Yahweh Shai. You know what I'm saying? Through the Spirit of the Lord, man. Good.
Proverbs 27:6. So you said this is love. Faithful are the wounds of a friend, but the kisses of an enemy are deceitful.
You got it, bro.
Oh, hey, what we're doing is we're friends. All right, so 2/3 of our people, they're already written off for destruction. Yeah. But it's what we're doing right now, like you said, this is love. Yeah. All right, and some of you learn about being a brother and being in a brotherhood. It ain't always roses.
No.
You gotta have talks with brothers. You gotta have heart to heart.
Yeah.
We're having a heart to heart with our people.
Yeah.
But it said this, but the kiss of the enemy are deceitful. Feminism was a kiss of the enemy.
Yeah.
Street culture was the kiss of the enemy.
Yeah.
All right. Any type of liberation from the enemy, Esau was a kiss of the enemy.
Right.
All right. Integration was a kiss of the enemy. Look at the outcomes. Right. The way you know, I'm sorry.
Oh, it's like women's liberation.
The way you know it's a war tactic. Look at what it engendered. Look at what welfare state engendered. Look what 40, 50 years of street culture engendered. Look what it produced. And like I said, in our heritage, we have regenerative measures, which means that the system that we have can regenerate itself. Like, I had a fish tank, man. You know, I get into like aqua systems and stuff. You get a fish tank with a good system, you can take the filter out. Because if you got plants inside your fish tank, it's gonna cleanse itself. Yep, it's gonna absorb in pH. pH, it's gonna absorb in ammonia. Alright, but in turn it's gonna get a fish oxygen. So it's a cycle. So we have an adequate system, alright? You don't need artificial safety nets, so there's a filter. Alright, same thing with Esau. If we were allowed to keep our customs here in America, we wouldn't need no fucking welfare. Right. Because men would be by law obligated to take care of the woman he impregnated. Period.
Yeah.
Alright? And we had the laws of Yahweh Shai, there would be no such thing as street culture. Because why would you even make a rap song about breaking the laws of Yahweh? Thou shalt not kill. Thou shalt not cover thy neighbor's wife. You know?
It's real quick, Jeremiah 6 and 16. It says, thus said the Lord Yahweh, stand ye in the ways and see and ask for the old paths.
What's the old paths? The laws of Yahweh Shai. Hey, the old paths is basically keeping the laws, man. Hey, you know, it's a form of slavery. You know it's a form of slavery to have to work for a fucking mortgage. Don't you know paying a bill is slavery?
And mortgage, when it goes back to war,
Dead.
dead.
The gauge goes back to pledge. First of all, in the law, I think it's in Leviticus. You can Google the word pledge in the blue letter Bible. I'm sorry. Put the word pledge in the blue letter because it tells you the things you're not supposed to use as a pledge for your neighbor. Because it's in our customs to borrow things for each other, right? Yeah. But we have something called collateral. Right. But in the ancient times, they were called a pledge. You're not supposed to use your clothes as collateral. See? You're not supposed to use your livelihood as a collateral. See, when you go and get a mortgage for a house, using that house as collateral, paying this loan for a bank, man. All right? It's fucked up.
Banking on you not paying.
He's banking on you, even with everything he does in the system, he's banking on you making a mistake. Right?
It's Exodus 22 and 25. If thou lendest money to any of my people that is poor by me, thou should not be to him as a usurer.
Which is an extortioner. What's that word? Interest. A usurer charge interest. So you're not supposed to charge interest on somebody. And what are you known for? Subprime loans, high interest rates, especially when it comes to the 12 tribes. The so-called Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans, you purposely give high interest rates on these houses. All right? Hence redlining. It's really impossible to live in those neighborhoods. That's why you look at Esau like, man, how much money does he make to live out here? He got to make a whole lot.
Plummeted compared to you.
He might be paying $1,200 a month, $800 a month. But let's try to get that house. $1,800 a month, $2,000, $2,500. We talking about the South.
And they see your income is less than Esau.
Yep. Let's go. Can you start from the top with this damn hypocrite?
It's Exodus 22 and 25.
Yep.
If thou lend money to any of my people that is poor by thee, thou should not be to him as a usurer. Neither should thou lay upon him usury. Thou and all take thy neighbor's raiment to pledge.
Whoa! Thou should not take thy neighbor's raiment to pledge. Now in the book of Sirach, it tells you, should you get that, brother? Get the word house and shame. Alright? Because raiment is clothing. So you're not supposed to use your brother's clothing for a pledge or collateral. That's what I'm aware. I know I owe you shit, man. You got it. I'm walking around naked. So you can't use a brother's livelihood basically as necessity as collateral.
A security for a loan.
A security for a loan. All right. A house of shame. A house of shame. Go to those crystal there with the Holy Spirit.
I know scriptures also go into, Jacob be wicked, man. And Jacob, let's say scriptures go into how if your neighbor's oxen pretty much come onto your property, you're supposed to return them to them, man, or let them know where it is, regardless of how many days it is, man. But you got Jake now, man. You let you have a nice looking pit bull and he wander on the Jake property. Jake gonna throw him on the chain and try to keep him for himself, man. Knowing this your dog.
Man, the neighborhood I stayed in, that was part of the custom to steal pit bulls. Might as well have been.
And that's wicked.
Hey, you walking with a pit. Jake, you would think you walking with a big booty woman, man. That's the way Jake drive and look at your dog, man. Yeah. Jake obsessed with them. I love them dogs.
Yeah.
Jake crazy.
And Jake wicked ass in a group will get him in fight.
Yep, abuse them, man.
Abuse the hell out of them.
Because the Most High didn't create pit bulls to fight each other, man. Those dogs were originally used for bear baiting. For hunting. Man started breeding them to fight each other to when it came out the womb ready to fight each other, man.
What the scripture saying, my people are wise to do evil, but to do good and have no knowledge.
Jacob is a scientist when it comes to evil.
Don't scriptures go to how people pretty much made Esau more weak?
Hey, if you can't find it, I'm just trying to find it right quick.
Talking about this in Ecclesiastes 29, Sirach 21, and 16, the life is water, wind, golden, and house, and color sun.
Yeah, nah. You can just read it again, it's louder.
Okay. That's it.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay. Alright, this is Sirach 29. Started.
You can get to the point. I'm gonna go back to this.
I'm going to start at verse 20. It said, help thy neighbor according to thy power, and beware that thou thyself fall not into the same. The chief thing for life is water and bread and clothing and house to cover shame.
And the house to cover shame. All right, go back to
It's back in Exodus 22 and 26. But thou and all take thy neighbor's raiment to pledge.
Because if you think about it, it's talking about clothing, but a house is a form of clothing. Because it covers shame. You wash your hands, you not sleeping in clothes. You won't go out in public like that. So a house is another form of clothing. Right. All right? So it says you're not supposed to use your neighbor's raiment as a pledge or collateral. Right. All right, so what do the papers do? They use your house to cover shame according to Sirach. All right? They use your house to pledge. Like this Sirach 21 and 8. I think it's
This is it's the book of Sirach, Ecclesiasticus, and the Apocrypha, chapter 21, verse 8. He that buildeth his house with another man's money.
He that built his house with another man's money. Because these bankers what give you a loan. You're a banker system. All right, go ahead.
Is like one that gathereth himself stones for the tomb of his burial.
Yep, because mortgage goes back to the two elements, two components. Work, which means dead, like you said, and the gauge goes back to pledge. It's a death pledge. You set yourself up like a card. Yeah. So yeah, because what happened? Most people die trying to pay for it. You know, they put you what, on a 30-year mortgage. And some people may not live to see their mortgage paid off. Yeah. Something that Elder Apostle Hall was going into recently, going back to the book of Leviticus, 21st chapter. See, an Israelite man would be an indentured servant for 7 years. You'll be put up as a servant when you're 12 years old, and you'll work for an Israelite that's well off. But you'll be building up your wealth. Then by the time you're 19, you're a rich man. See, it wasn't set up for you to spend the next 30 years on a fucking mortgage, man. Right. You can inherit, if you didn't inherit wealth from your family, like your dad, your father, you put yourself in the servitude as a young man. In 7 years, you came out a rich man. How do you think Jacob got Leah and Rachel? Through the blood. He went 7 years for each one. Because what was he doing? He was purchasing assets. Right. That's why it says in Sirach 36, he that getteth the wife, getteth the possession, help like it to himself. When you got a woman, it wasn't like today, when you got a woman for a body or your emotions or your lust. No, you got really, I hate this, like a tool. You got to help me. You got assets to your estate. Right. Like you saw the movie Color Purple. It may not be the best example because of the connotation, but in the beginning of the movie Color Purple, this one was all over the place. I think the what's her name? Season. I forgot what happened, but she wasn't around the house for a while. So Mr. couldn't take care of the chickens. Kids were going crazy. Right. So he needed that help me. Right. So it was actually the right spirit how she was set up. All right. So when you got a woman, you got a utility. She came with a role, man. All right, same thing with a man. A man came with a role, provide, protect, all the other stuff. But when you put those two roles together, now you have family money. Property, because what happened? He went to her father and purchased her. Yep. You know, so I mean, women hate to hear that, but that's the truth. But women put themselves up as property. Right. If you want her, how many days you gotta take on? There's women who actually have signs posted. If you want me, my rent is this much, my light bill is this much, my clothes this much, my food, and your property, you know it. Right. All right, you move it. Right, and all that. Yeah, we did all that. But you know, John has been demoted from property, man. I know, you're basically a harlot. Now you get something to do. Yeah, a harlot should be kind of discouraged. Why would I move you in? Why would I move you in with me if you can't do shit? Right. Well, Esau's woman. He that lose the war, lose the woman. So after slavery and the feminist movement, our women, they rocking with you, man. Straight deal. We're only tools for a lot of our women. Sex, money, whatever it is, make you do. All right?
Back to, kind of now back on to the deal with the housing and the mortgage. It's like a constant trap, man, because you work your job, you got a house, you got your loan, right? You get your house. 40 years, you paid it off, right? But if you don't pay your land taxes, guess what? They taking the house anyway. Even though it's paid for, just because it's on that land, they still gonna take it. You know, it's a never-ending cycle of losses dealing with Esau.
Esau, he got something called predatory lending. You know, I had did a video a couple years ago. It's going to Holmes County. Which is like one of the poorest, I think it's like the poorest county in Mississippi. Yeah, so it's like the average household median income is like $22,000 a year. So they show you how Jace throughout Holmes County, which is pretty dominated by Jace. So they was just going into how they fall into predatory lending. You know, it goes into predatory lending refers to unethical practices conducted by lending organizations during the loan origination process that are unfair, deceptive, and fraudulent. Once you go to the word predatory, it goes into living are characterized by plundering, pillaging, or marauding, i.e. booty, spoil. What does Esau do with these nations, man? Begin with our people. He uses as spoil for his events. You know what I'm saying? So y'all would get this scripture goes into Naples, you know? But that's what Esau does, man, to be able to be where he's at right now. He did it, he had a cheat code, first and foremost. And how about Shemashah gave him his power to be in a top power position. But at the same time, man, hey, he cheated, man. You know?
Because I can say, for the most part, especially around like the Tula area of Holmes County, the four generations, you know what I'm saying, so-called after slavery, the fathers was dealing with the sharecroppers, so they were living on Esau's land, working for them, you know what I'm saying, working their fields still. And when it comes down to getting their pay, Esau is doctoring them because what, they use their land, they use their equipment, you know what I'm saying? So that was further putting Jake in that more debt, man. So now, generations on down, you still got Jake with no money, no ambition, and probably ain't never been outside that area. It's not trying to go outside the area until they have been institutionalized that that's it. There's nothing outside that Holmes County bump.
Yeah, that documentary, man, hey, that shit's sad, bro.
It is.
Yeah, they show you how Jake living. I'm talking about, damn.
They was Holmes County?
Yeah, Holmes County. Yeah.
I think the dude was actually Tula. Yeah.
And I know I messed with Jason too. That's a different spirit they got out there.
Yeah.
sad. And it's really all over because look at Goldsmith, man. Look how Goldsmith was destroyed by the Bolsheviks for an age. But now these people are homeless, basically. You know, they have nowhere to go, no housing, they're living in hotels, and you know, the government come in like that, all this and that, but then they leave and they still in worse shape. Yep. You know, so that's just Esau.
This is the book of Habakkuk, chapter 2, verse 8. Because thou hast spoiled many nations, all the remnant of the people has spoiled thee, because of men's blood, and for the violence of the land, and of the city, and of all that dwell therein.
Think about the Cuban block trade. Esau pretty much cut out Cuba and having resources, man. Those people, they struggling over there, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, right.
You know? Like, just things like you doing, you have spoiled many nations, and now you're being called out. All the wicked doings you've been doing throughout the whole earth.
Yeah. You can't wait till how about some shot come. Basically keep you out of position of power.
That's right, man. Keep you out of the damn house.
That's right.
Like Haiti, how can you lose a war and make a country pay you? You know what I'm saying? Because you done lost.
They just paid that loan up.
No
Not
shit.
too long ago. Yeah. They
You
just paid that
get
loan
up off of it.
Yeah, they just paid that loan up. That's some years ago.
Verse 9, woe to him that coveteth an evil covetousness to his house, that he may set his nest on high, that he may be delivered from the power of evil. Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 9. Woe to him that coveteth evil, covetousness to his house, which is what pretty much going on with Esau, how he just, you know, take on evil. You know, he it's his thing, man. You know, it's like he want more evil shit he can do. In a sense, yeah. That he may set his nest on high, that he may be delivered from the power of evil.
Now, just going back to that documentary in Holmes County, if our people had some type of spirituality, they would know they don't make no covenant with this devil, man. Because at the end of the day, it's going to lead to your downfall, your destruction. Which takes me to Isaiah 28 and 18. And it says, and your covenant with death should be disannulled. So this goes into our people that sold out within this system, like with the Hollywood, these different entertainers. You have made a covenant with death. And by disannul meaning it's gonna be adequate, you know, for you, man. It's not gonna be for your benefit. And it says, and your agreement with hell should not stand. When the overflow and scourge should pass through, then you should be trodden down by it. That's like when the boats are going into like when Jacob's trouble happens, it's gonna be a bittersweet moment. But you're gonna see the majority of our people will really fought to be into this system, are they really going to be caught off guard and all hell breaks loose within this American society, man? Wisdom and knowledge is not going to be the stability of 2/3 of our people's time. You think about it right now, if it was up to the majority of our people to be here, we'll be here forever, man. So Lord, the water to the Habakkuk Shemashah haven't been set up in these latter days, that's after his mind, you know?
The first wave is verbal. The first form of Yahweh Shemashah is that verbal warning. But the second wave is going to be that sword, man. So if you're going to get shook up from the word, you're going to get shook up from the sword. With the spirit of Yahweh Shemashah, you got shook up from the word.
I mean, it's a blessing to be woken and to be chosen, because we can't choose him to choose us. So I mean, that's the blessing. You know, and those that have been chosen need to humble themselves. You know, and those of the other camps, calling the Most High all kind of different names, and, you know, doing all kind of different activities and not really focusing in on the word and preaching the word to wake up the masses. You know, he gonna fuck y'all up. You know, excuse my language, but that's what it's gonna be.
Just back here, Apostle Paul in Ephesians, he told the brothers in Ephesus to walk worthy in your vocation. You know, so that vocation goes into like our spiritual call of duty, man. So we're supposed to walk worthy. That's by having integrity, by following the principles of the Habakkuk Shemashah, you know?
Hey, this is back in Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 9, just to get a little more clear understanding on the breakdown of this scripture. We're going to read it in the NLT. It reads, what sorrow awaits you who build big houses with money gained by dishonesty. And you can relate that back to what we're saying about the loans from the banks and everything, because their corruption and their deceiving ways by giving you loans, charging you high interest rate, taking your home if you ain't paying your mortgage or paying your land taxes, all right? That money they take in, who have the biggest lavish houses on the hill? You know, summer homes, winter homes, and all that kind of shit.
And for the simple fact, for them to call it predatory.
Right,
shows
right.
that Esau, he's a predator, man. You know, through spirit.
God.
He's a systemic predator. And who's the prey?
Jacob.
Jacob is. They said there in Mississippi to teach you something that came.
Yep.
He said the hunt is on, and you are the prey.
That's right.
You know, own nation not desired.
Because we went from agricultural slavery and being a part of the breeding farm to inner city prey. When we're going through now is inner city hunting. That's why like a hunter has cameras on trees to get the deer and all that shit. What if Esau has surveillance cameras all in the inner city? All right? He gives us guns and he catches us with the guns. He gives us drugs and he comes with the drugs and throws us in prison. It's a trap, man. That's why I said we're like a bull in the neck. And that's it.
That's spiritual why Jake called this system, which goes into like a trap, a snare. So through the spirit, you know that you are spiritually snared in this system. It is hell.
You believe your wealth will buy you security, because this scripture goes to how they dwell in safety. You know, they think they all good just because, you know, they had the big lavish houses in the hills, you know, the big gated communities, you know, all this kind of shit, man. He think that's gonna be safe, moving far away from Jacob's game. Put your families in the nest beyond the reach of danger. But at the end of the day, if any one of those big, it's gonna be destroyed, man. Okay, you're not gonna escape judgment, regardless of where you go, what you do.
Most stay holding Esau's habitation. $500,000 house going on a mudslide.
Right.
That's regular, man. Yep. And just be high five with each other off this shit, man. You don't stand a chance, man. And but with that, we hope you brothers and sisters will edify. Once again, we want to give all honor and glory to
Yahweh Ba'Hashem, Yahushua Ba'Hashem, Wakadosh.
Devil underscore elder apostles and elder bishops of great millstone well. Peace and blessings, help the word into the house of the elect. Baba Ball. Shalom.
Shalom.